Why are you being so slow? Right, we are live. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. I know my amazing family guests that are on my channel right now are here, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. It's the amazing, of course, the Fitness Hutch Channel.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Nice to be here.
Welcome to the channel, guys. How are you?
We're good, thanks, Gemma. How are you?
So I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves.
So
Yeah,
I'm the Fitness
I'm
Hutch.
good.
Paul.
So, guys, if you don't know the Fitness Channel,
Sorry, Gemma, go on. You go ahead. I think there's a delay. Have we got a delay?
I was just going to say, if you don't know the Fitness Hutch Channel, guys, please go over and get connected to them. But I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves and talk about what their channel is and what they're doing on YouTube.
Thanks, Gemma. So you go.
Well, I was going to go, and then you all went a bit wrong, and I thought we had a delay. But if we haven't got a delay, that's good. I can see there's some people in here that know who we are. Obviously, I'm the Fitness Hutch. I'm Paul.
And I'm Mel.
The Fittest Hutch.
Wow, that's debatable.
we do get confused sometimes, but also the Hutch and Hutchess sometimes when people refer to us. So Paul and Mel, and we have a channel that started off as a fitness channel, kind of evolved into a bit of a fitness, nutrition, mental health and well-being, and pretty much now about positivity, motivation, helping others through any kind of health, fitness, nutrition, well-being and mental health, for those of you that don't know what we do. Mel's the mental health nurse. She knows all that side of things. And supposedly I'm the fitness instructor and nutritionalist. But the amount I've eaten this last couple of weeks while we've been off, I don't necessarily feel like it.
Yeah. So I've made up some questions to ask the Fitness Hutch guys. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask the guys some questions. Once Paul and Mel have answered the questions, I will then open up the floor to the people in the chat. So let's get into it. The first question is, why did you want to start YouTube? What made you decide to go onto YouTube?
So I suppose it started with me.
Yeah, you started.
I started the channel, and if I'm honest, so Frugal Stew, who's in the chat now, was one of the reasons that I started the YouTube channel. I was just doing some videos on different exercises for people that had not really done much exercise before, and Stew was one of them. And I was using YouTube because our internet was so terrible at the time. I couldn't send him the videos. They wouldn't WhatsApp. They wouldn't go through Dropbox. I just couldn't get them to send. So a friend said, you should just set up YouTube and do it as a private video and send them the link. So that's what I was doing. It just started off sending private videos to people. And it kind of just grew from there, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. That's a really good way of interacting with people, I guess, and also providing your friends that way of communication so that you could send them the links. And then at the same time, now you've built into an established channel. So that was a good recommendation for your friends to suggest to you.
Yeah, it worked. It worked quite well because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed making the videos. I was making I was doing like these fitness podcasts just in my gym, and not many people were watching. There was like 4 or 5 views. And I said to Mel, do you know what? I'm just not going to do it anymore. So I took them all down. And that night, Frugal Stew messaged me and said, why are you taking all your videos down? And I think at that point, I realized that even if 1 or 2 people are watching and benefiting from what we're doing, then it's having a positive effect on people. So we just kept doing it. I'm glad we did, really.
Yeah, no, it took off. It's doing quite well now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doing all right.
Yeah. I guess in a way it's helped you do social communication in a different way because you're reaching a lot of different people, whereas you're not just sending it to your friends. You've actually opened up your social media to a lot of different people, including myself. So it's good for you guys to be able to communicate with different people as well. So
we're speaking to people all over the world.
Yeah.
Most days.
And for you, Mel, it must be an extension of like your mental health nurse work as well, because it helps you to be more open to people, and you can speak to people across the world as well. So you're not only speaking to local people, you're speaking to people who are across the world as well. So that must be really good for you as well.
Yeah, no, we enjoy it, Gemma. It's interesting.
And it's nice.
For sure.
It's nice when people send a message or an email saying thank you for the conversation last night, or thank you for the video that you posted, or just, you know, you've helped us. And we've had quite a few people, haven't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
And it's our hobby together.
Yeah,
We've never had a hobby together. We've always done different things, haven't we? So this is one of the things that we do together.
We do it quite well.
Yeah.
We're pretty good.
Hello.
We're pretty good.
Good evening, Trevor. How are you?
Oh, Trevor's there.
So it leads me on nicely to the second questions. What are your goals for the future regarding YouTube, or your own personal goals?
Oh, do you want that one? Make a video without stuttering.
Yeah, make a video without stuttering. That would be a good goal, wouldn't it? I'm really rubbish with goals. You're the goal person. I'm a plodder. I tend to plod from one thing to the next, and then eventually get to where I want to be. But I don't make big goals.
No, I'm pretty driven with stuff like that. And I think with YouTube, the goal is always to keep growing. The goal is always to reach as many people as we can and help as many people as we can. And we do talk about that a lot. And those that know us will know that we do say we do this because we want to help people. But also, like, there's always going to be a bit of a, I guess, I don't like the term selfish, but the selfish side to it, where, yes, we want to grow. I want to see our subscribers be at 2,000 or 2,500, 3,000. I want to see them watching. Because when you see that people are watching your videos, when we went from being 10, 15 watchers on a video to 20 to 30, now we get somewhere, you know, between probably 75, 100, sometimes up to 200. You think, actually, we're making a difference. We're helping people here.
Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
It does make you feel good. So I guess with YouTube, that's the goal. It's just to keep growing, keep on that upwards, you know, that upwards trajectory that we're on.
Personal goals. We want to be retired.
Yeah, I want to retire I want to retire no later than 55.
Not a couple of years.
Okay.
I've still got like 35 years to go. But yeah.
Wishes, Gemma.
That's a good achievable goal, though. If you've got your mind and heart set on retiring at 55, that's something that you can aim for to make sure that is a reality for you.
You want to retire from this job and work for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, what I would really like to do is the way we help people now through YouTube. I would like to have that as a sustainable career, I guess, where we are self-sufficient in helping other people. So whether it's having our own house where we can have people and help them, or whether we can help people through the coaching that we do, or something that's a kind of a self-sufficient way of working.
Yeah.
I thought she frozen.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a bit of a delay in there. What you got next, Gemma?
So the next question I have, you've pardon? Yeah.
I was just waiting.
So the next question I was going to ask, you've kind of already answered it. Yeah. The next question I was going to ask, you've kind of already made sense of it, but I've put, can you tell us about what the Fitness Hutch is about, or your future aims for the Fitness Hutch?
Yeah, I guess the Fitness Hutch to me, because I kind of, it was my idea. Obviously, our surname's Hutchinson. It was a play on words, and it was just something. It started off, the Fitness Hutch started off as my gym in my garden to train while we was locked down.
Yeah.
But how I see the Fitness Hutch now is being not just a brand, but an idea. We're all the Fitness Hutch. We're all part of this. The people we help. And it doesn't just have to be people who are struggling with mental health issues or people who are struggling with their weight. It can be anyone. Anyone can come and join our Discord and join in and talk and engage. It's about forming a community. And I think that something that I've noticed a lot more recently is communities don't seem to be as big and as strong as they used to be. And I think that if we can grow a supportive, friendly community for everyone, regardless of who you are, then we're just going to improve the world just a little bit.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Like you said, the community comes together to support each other, because when you're in a community, you're not just, this is what I say to people, you're not just friends, subscribers, we're all family, because we're all interlinked on the same cause. We're all trying to help each other, and we're all trying to help each other grow. So therefore, being part of that community, the Discord and online, you know, you get to know people really well. You get to know what their personality is, and I like that about people, because otherwise, if it wasn't for online, a lot of us wouldn't be getting to meet each other and see each other on live streams. And for me, it's important, and it's improved my communication massively. Being online helps me to be a better person. I think I've learned to really get to know, make friends, and have family members. You two have become family to me. A lot of the people in my chat are my family, and people say, "Oh, you shouldn't get so attached to people," but to me, you're all my family, regardless of who you are on my chat, on my panel. Whoever connects to me is family, because you're all good people. So
yeah, I agree. And I know you've been quite outspoken in the past, Gemma, about people saying that you shouldn't class your YouTube people as family, and you shouldn't call them family. I know people have said that to you before, and you've spoke out about it. And I think it depends on how you're looking at things, because people get proper engrossed in TV dramas and soap operas, and they live their life through that, but they're just not real people. We're all real people, and people live their lives sometimes through, like what you do with when you're going out to see Elvis, or you've had the weekend away, or with obviously we all know Trevor with the stuff that he's doing, and when Penny Bunny's going live. So it's almost like a soap opera, but it's a soap opera that you can get involved in and talk to each other and interact. So I think whether you use the word family, community, or whatever, the term doesn't matter. It's the importance of it, the power of it.
Yeah, exactly. The meaning and the context, which is what people don't often get. So absolutely. The next question I've got for you is, do either of you have any interesting hobbies that you wish to talk about?
Interesting hobbies. I haven't got very many interesting hobbies. I've got loads.
Sorry, excuse my language. I forgot it's not my channel. You've got loads of hobbies.
Yeah, I've got loads of hobbies.
Paul, you can speak however you wish, Paul. I'm an over 18 channel. I have no restrictions.
I've got loads of hobbies. I love a hobby. I start a new hobby every week.
So how many musical instruments have you got at the moment?
Piano, violin.
That drum.
I've got a new tongue drum. That's
just them at the moment. Only 3 at the moment.
Yeah, I need a sax and a harp.
You want a saxophone and a harp?
Yeah. Yeah, I want a harp. Yeah, I love music. I love playing music. I love playing instruments. So that's a static hobby that's been around forever. And then I paint these little bamboo ducks. I sell them on a Made Me site. My little ducks are cute.
Ducks? Yeah. Do you want to go get a duck?
No.
You don't want to show all the people watching one of your beautiful ducks?
No, because they might laugh at us.
Why might they?
We won't laugh at you, Mel. We're family. No one will laugh at you. If someone laughs at you, I will tell them off and discipline them.
I started painting little bamboo ducks and penguins, and I've sold a few. What else have I done? Oh, crochet, sewing machine, upcycling furniture. I've done that.
Oh, that was a failure. Upcycling furniture. So for those of you that don't know about upcycling furniture, basically you just go buy someone's old shit furniture, bring it into your own house, and then you're supposed to do it up and make it look nice so you can sell it. But what we did was went and bought someone else's shit furniture and then had their shit furniture in our house for like 2 years, and then took it to the tip because we didn't do anything with it. That was pretty much the gist of it, wasn't it?
I painted some chairs, and then I didn't like them, so I bought some new ones.
Right, Dexy, go on now.
And then sewing. I did embroidery for a little while. I've done everything at points, Gemma. Crafts and arts and Can't paint though.
I'm quite simple. I like the gym. I train in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
I train jiu-jitsu, and I'm a 43-year-old adult who rides a BMX. So I'm
nice.
And you got a camper van.
Yeah, you have many different hobbies. I think that's good. That helps you to be different, and focusing on many different hobbies gives you many different skills and abilities that you can communicate with people like myself. I do my poetry. I write little short novels. I'm planning to hopefully write my own book via the Amazon program thing, and I like to bake cakes. So for me, that's my hobbies. I like to do writing and do things that hands-on because I like to be busy and keep myself going all the time. So I have many different hobbies that people don't often know about, and they think, oh, Gemma doesn't seem to do much apart from Elvis stuff, or she doesn't seem to do much apart from YouTube stuff. Like, Gemma is very diverse. I go out and do many things. I go out and camp. I do things that are totally different from the YouTube world. And when people see that, they go, oh my God, Gemma's a lot more different. It confuses a lot of people. So
I think this is something we've talked about on one of our early podcasts, was the importance of keeping busy and maintaining, sort of keeping your mind active and doing something. It shouldn't matter what it is, whether you're riding a BMX or painting a bamboo duck or writing poetry. If it's something that means something to you and it's something to keep you going and keep your mind occupied and a meaningful activity. So no matter what you guys who are in the chat and people who are watching are doing, it's better than not doing anything. It's better than just sitting around and moping and maudling about things, because that's when things. What are you smiling at?
I'm just looking at the chat. I need to go check what that thud was.
Go check what the thud was.
Trevor in the chat is encouraging Mel to show her artwork. She's put "show it, we won't laugh." So Trevor's actually saying that Mel should show it. Hey Pamela, hey Moody Mother, good to see you. Frugal Stew, good to see you.
It's really nice to see so many familiar names in the chat, and those of you that we haven't met yet, thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for supporting Gemma, because she is an amazing lady and we've got so much time for her. Dexter, will you go out? The dog's underneath the computer. Out now.
Hey Dexter, good to see you.
Hey. He's living his best life. We took him on holiday with us, and he absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did Dexter cope with traveling on holiday? Like, I can't imagine how it must have been for an animal to travel.
To be fair, it wasn't too bad because we've got a good setup in the van. So I've got a VW T5 camper, so it's a good size, and we've got a good setup to have him strapped in it properly. And then we just had regular stops. It was only a couple of hours. We didn't go a long way. You know what England's like anyway. You don't have to travel far. So we just went from Lincolnshire to the Peak District. 2.5 hours, couple of regular stops, and he was fine. Yeah, he absolutely loved it. He travels so well.
Oh,
good. That's great to hear. No worries, Goldie.
Hold it for me, look. You can help. You can be my demo. Look.
That's not.
That is cute. Oh, that is cute. I like that. You've dressed it up and everything. That is so cool. Oh, they're cool. I love dogs. That's cool.
There you go. That's my little hobby that keeps me out of prison.
Aww.
Sorry, I was just reading the chat. So yeah, that's us. We keep ourselves busy.
Been on the soapbox?
Yeah, this is no cats, no dogs.
I haven't been on a soapbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the next question I've got is, what do you do to relax after a day at work?
We don't.
Mario Kart.
Oh, we play a bit of Mario Kart actually. We play on the Switch. We play a bit of Mario Kart, but we're on the go, aren't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you're always busy people. I know that.
Settle down of an evening. We start late on, don't we?
Yeah, but a lot of people settle down like early, don't they? Sometimes it's like 9:30. I don't know if that's normal. Sometimes it's 9:30 before we finish everything so we do one-to-one coaching. We've got the coaching business.
Yeah.
So we do one-to-one coaching. Then I've got the the stuff we do in the gym as well. So I train people in the gym.
You go jiu-jitsu, I go choir.
Yeah, we're pretty busy. We don't really. That is our relaxation. Is them things that we do.
Yeah.
And then we got two little people.
Absolutely, that's good because it helps you to unwind and wind down for the day, and like, you know, it's good to have hobbies that help you to settle down and things. So
I guess our main.
the next question I've got is, what is both of your favourite TV program?
TV program.
Oh,
we don't watch a lot of telly, do we?
You're gonna get us into a proper hole here, Gemma, because we don't now, but we have a lot of favourite TV programs over the years. My two favourites of all time. No, my two favourites of modern time are Sons of Anarchy and Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. How about you, Mel?
Yeah.
What's your favourite?
I like Lucifer. I watched all of that. What else? I used to like watching things like Charmed.
Yeah, you used to like Charmed, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, A Girl After My Own Heart. Oh, yes.
We've talked a bit about
Charmed
this
repeatedly.
We've talked a bit about this, like on the lives, and we tend to get in a bit of a hole because you start talking about all the classic stuff, because we like all the old classic stuff as well, the classic comedies. I mean, I'm a massive Rick Mail fan, so I love all the old young ones.
Oh, Rise and Damp and Bottom, and oh yes, I was raised on that at my nan's house. Oh yes, spent many a time watching Rise and Damp for hours on end, and my nan is sitting there laughing at the most random joke. I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" And she was like, "This," and then I'd sit there and I started getting it after a little while. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get it at first, but now I'm like, it's proper funny watching the old school things like Rick Mail and like Norman Wisdom. Like that's another one that I was brought up on. Norman Wisdom was hilarious. Watching his jokes and him being silly, and I'm just like, you don't get people like them anymore. All the old school traditional comics and comedians, they're not here anymore. They're all gone. So it's a shame because it's all modern garbage now.
It's because they can't say or do anything anymore. Everything has to be about pushing the new modern agenda, and like I don't get into politics because I don't get it. I'll fall out with people who talk about politics too much. But
yeah, I took.
Everything nowadays is about pushing an agenda. It's either about pushing an agenda and making money.
Yep.
You want so many TV shows that are on now at night are about send us a text message, vote for these people, let's make as much money out of the general public as we can. Stuff like that just winds me up. So I stopped watching. Don't watch any of it.
Big Brother's coming back though, isn't it?
I used to like that back in the day, like the early Big Brothers. I used to quite like that.
Yeah. For me, I must say one of my favourite, modern-ish TV programs. I know you, Paul and Mel, I know you've liked this about it before. Is I love The Bill. I have the whole box set of the Bill TV program, and I watch that for hours. I can sit here and watch loop after loop of episodes. I love that show with passion.
Yeah, I've heard they're bringing it back. I was going to a bit of a Bill hole the other night after we'd spoke, Gemma, and I was looking at what all the old actors are doing now and who's still about and what's going to be happening. And yeah, it's I got right back into like the really early stuff, some of the real old Bill stuff, and just got in a real hole.
It's a great program. Like, don't get me wrong, it's something that I actually could sit here and watch for hours. I go back and watch some of the Burnside episodes are one of my favorites. I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, like this was great. Like this was proper good old school fun. And now I'm like, if that gets re-brought out now, it's going to be complete garbage compared to what it used to be like. So I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, next question that leads on from that: have you got any dream celebrities that you'd like to meet or you have met?
What? Yeah, you could go on, start listing them.
What? Who I'd like to meet?
Yeah,
you're gonna get them on the channel, aren't you? You're gonna get The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
You're gonna get Channing Tatum.
The thing is, me and Mel have got the same ones that would want to meet because I want to meet The Rock, And I want to meet Tom
who
Hardy.
doesn't? I think he's on top
I'll
of
list
everyone's
a load
list.
of males that I want to meet, and then she'll list a load of males that she wants to meet. So I think if there was one for me that I could meet, it would be The Rock, without a doubt.
I'd like to have David Williams round for tea.
Yeah.
Because I think he'd be quite funny. I think you'd have a good time with David Williams.
Would I be allowed to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't just want David Williams in the house to have a good time with him?
No. No.
I'm allowed.
No, I think he'd be quite funny. I think he'd be a dinner guest.
Have you ever met anyone famous?
I met Andrew Lloyd Webber. I met an actress called Teddy Thompson.
If you've got to explain who it is, they're not famous.
Well,
Hey, Foxtrot Alpha, just to see you.
I met Lightning from the Gladiators, Ian St. John, the football pundit,
Will Mellor.
Will Mellor. Yeah, I met Will Mellor recently.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, that was awesome.
Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon from the 80s wrestling.
Oh, and Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy, Paul Mort, Ant Middleton.
You've met loads of famous
Yeah, I have, yeah.
You get about, you do, don't you? I met Frugal Stu once. He's quite famous now, isn't he? He's on YouTube.
What's that? The Rock? Serial hidden trafficker. Not hidden for long. I don't know what that means.
Basically, I don't know if you guys are aware about a controversial film that's coming here in UK the end of next month, and people are saying that The Rock has something to do with supposedly trafficking people, and a lot of people are trying to boycott him. So
really, is this the film that Trevor was on about that Mel Gibson's been trying to promote?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We don't want The Rock round then if he's wrong.
Well, let's just give him a minute. Yeah. let's just have a look at the evidence first, because I buy most of my clothes from The Rock.
You'd be naked.
Oh, if I've got to boycott him, I've only got about 4 t-shirts I can wear.
This is the thing. I don't know anything about the circumstances of it. I've not really researched a lot of it, and unless there's evidence to say that he's done things, then I'm not going to assume he has. And I haven't seen the film yet, and I don't know if I want to, but a lot of people said that you should. But I don't know. It's unless there's evidence to convict someone, I'd rather not people name names, but each their own, I guess.
I just think with stuff like that, we've currently got a woman being held in prison who has got a list of celebrities that she sold young children to, and they're not forcing her to release that. And I think that it's easy to scapegoat certain things. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong or whether it happened or not, but I think that they need to be getting to the bottom of stuff like that more than anything. You know, there was an island and there's a manifest, and there was people that was this famous celebrities and very powerful, wealthy people who should be held to account, and they're not going to be. And until that happens, they can make as many movies as they want and out as many people as they want. It's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough.
No. Casey the cat, Trevor is in the chat. If you actually type his name in, you should be able to see he's on here. I did see you put sad faces in the chat. He is actually in the chat if you want to talk to Trevor directly. He's in the chat, just to let you know. And yeah, so the next question, Sharon, I'll get your question afterwards, but I don't want to answer it right now. What is your favourite music or musicians that you like?
Wow, these are big questions. Betsy, be quiet. Sure, you go first.
I told you I thought them through, Paul. I thought them through in my head.
Yeah, we've got some similar tastes, but I like Pink and you're not keen, are you?
No.
So I like listening to Pink. I like listening.
Howie.
I'll listen to anything really. But Queen. I like a bit of Queen. I like a bit of 90s, 80s. I like a bit of 70s disco. When we're having a boogie.
I think for me, music's a massive influence in my life, and I firmly believe that if you had to wipe out every single decade of music but keep one, you'd keep the 90s.
You wouldn't want to lose.
I wouldn't want to. I love 90s. Oasis are probably one of my top bands. Guns N' Roses as well, one of my top bands.
Oh,
But
Oasis, yes.
Yeah, but if you go to my playlist on iTunes, I've got everything on there from classical music, 70s disco, hard rock, thrash metals, the Beatles. I've got, and it just depends what mood I'm in. But I would say my two biggest played playlists on there are my Guns N' Roses playlist and my Oasis playlist.
See, I just shuffle all, and sometimes end up with Christmas songs, and then June.
We'll be in the car listening to her playlist, and Bing Crosby's White Christmas will come on in the middle of summer.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with a good Christmas song, especially not by Bing Crosby. He's a hugely talented celebrity who earned a lot of money.
Like a surprise.
I do. Just play all.
I think for me, music is a good way of therapy. Like, I listen to a lot of different genres. So, like, obviously my main genre is Elvis, and then I listen to things like Tina Turner and all the classic people back in that era time. I listen to Ed Sheeran, I listen to Ollie Murs, I listen to old school artists like Madness and stuff like that. So I go from genre to genre quite quickly. I tend to jump across the decades of different people.
Do you know, I find that the weather can influence what I listen to. I have summer playlists that you know, and I love the Beach Boys, but I'll only listen to the Beach Boys if the weather's good. And I've got a playlist on my iTunes that's called Van Days, and it's just got all like that kind of thing on it, like Sum 41 and a lot of skater and surf music on there. But it's got to be nice weather for that. I couldn't go in the gym and listen to that. My gym playlist's all heavy metal stuff.
Yeah, I guess it depends, like you say, on the weather and what you find is motivating. Like for me, if I'm doing like my YouTube videos and I need something to hype me up and keep me energized, I put on a lot of Avril Lavigne music and I just sit and I jam out to Avril Lavigne while I'm working on videos. To me, I'm like, boom, it gives me something to focus on. I'm like, okay, do this and I can do it. But if I have something slow on or if I have something that's too jumpy, it stops me. So I have to have something that has a kind of a beat to it to keep me going, working on things. So
I just want to go to the chat a minute, Joey, because Laser Blaze has just said that he saw Elvis when he was 10 years old.
Oh, jealous. I would have loved to have met Elvis. Oh, God. That must have been quite a sight to be in the presence of a legend such as... That is so cool, Laser Blaze. You're going to have to email me the story about that. That would be so cool to hear about it. The next question that I've got is... How did you decide to set your goals for social media? Did you find it easy to set them?
You don't really have social media goals, do you? I'm the social media one.
Yeah.
And I didn't set goals. So what happened was, Gemma, with the goals we've got, is when I went up to see Paul Mort, I had a conversation with him, and one of the questions I asked him was if he could give me some advice on growing social media, what would it be? Okay. And it was him that said to me, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to get more subscribers and I want to get more interaction. And he said, but that's huge. There's no end to that, because you could gain one and you've got more. Would you be happy with one? Would you be happy with 10? So it was after that I kind of said to myself, right, I need to have a bit of an idea here of what it is that we want to do. It's balancing the want and need for numbers to change with the ability to help as many people as we can. And I think with things like overall social media, like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, don't have any goals for that, because I think they're just vain. They're just platforms to show off. Like, you can have 50,000 people on them and it wouldn't make any difference to your life whatsoever. Whereas if you had 50,000 people on YouTube, it would make a massive difference to your life and other people. So I guess it just took a bit of sitting down with someone and getting them to kind of say, actually, you need to have something official before you started setting them. And now it's easy. You just look at your next milestones. For me, the next milestone I think that we would look at would be we want a top 2,000. That would be, if we can do that by the end of the year. Let's be realistic. You know, it gives us another 4 or 5 months. If we can do that by the end of the year, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be an easy, achievable goal for you guys. Like we can get you there without a doubt for doing that. Like, you know, you've got a lot of motivational content out there already for people to click on and to watch. And I think the more that you upload the motivational content and the more you do live streams helping people and having your topics that you talk about, you're going to reach the people that you want to communicate with, because good people find good, like-minded people. So it's about reaching the people that you want to reach out to with the material that you have. So, hey, the piece, how you doing?
Nice. It's nice to hear people say nice things, and I let it get in my head, don't I?
What, the numbers?
Yeah,
a little bit.
We've gone massively backwards. We got up to 1,600.
We all do. Like, we all do. I'm guilty of that. Like, sometimes I know maybe I shouldn't push it as much with like my channel. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm this far away, and I get excited. But in hindsight and retrospect, is the fact that it should be about my message to speak for itself. I shouldn't always try and push it, but at the same time, it's that knowing that you've got that little bit closer. You know, you've got that following to help you get there. But at the same time, it's about our message gets there for itself. It shouldn't be that necessarily we all have to push our numbers up all the time, but it's still exciting because it proves that you're working and the content that you put out there is reaching people. So the more people that do subscribe to you and go over to your channel, they like what they see because they believe in what you do and the personality. YouTube is about personality and self-perspective. It's about presenting yourself in a way that people go, oh, I really like these two. They're really cool. They're funny and they're genuine and I like what they do. And, you know, when you connect with someone on that level, then like-minded people share with like-minded people. And then it just goes to other people who follow suit, I guess.
Yeah, I think what I would say to anyone, I don't know if there is anyone watching that's just starting out, and it was something that was told to me when I just started out, is just forget about the numbers. Forget about the growth. Just have fun doing it. You've just got to have fun doing it. Because if you're not, then you can have 100,000 people. If you don't enjoy doing it, then it makes the numbers make no difference whatsoever. And I think that was a massive help. Bringing Mel into what I do from the start really changed things for how I see it, because you know we do have a great relationship and we do bounce off each other. And yes, I am the talker. But I'll sit and talk, and then she'll come out with something absolutely profound. And be like, that's exactly why we have you on. That's why we have you.
No.
So yeah, that was a big game changer. But I would say just for anyone that is wanting to start or in the middle of it, whatever, just enjoy what you do. You've got to enjoy it, because if you don't, then you need to find something to enjoy.
Because if you're going to be on YouTube or social media, like Paul just said, you have to really be self-aware of making sure that you enjoy it. You have, I guess, a niche or an idea of what you're going to talk about. Because for me, it's very simple. It kind of became self-expression and research for me at first. And I was like, you know what? I'd researched for months and months. I got nowhere. There was no research for autistic females. There was no one around my age that I could relate to. And I'm like, where is everybody? And I thought, you know what? My brain clicked after a while. I'm like, duh, why don't I do something? And it took me that 1, 2, 3 started videos to go, oh, maybe I could make a good idea out of this. And I did it. And here I am nearly 9 years later. And I never thought I'd be on YouTube 9 years, let alone still being here. So it's crazy.
Yeah, you really are. You really are doing well. And to bring that kind of content, what you bring, I think is so important. And I don't think it's just important to local people. I don't think it's just important to people who suffer with autism. I think it's important to everybody to help understand and help people grow and help people learn. So you should keep it up. Definitely. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And I think this is the thing, that once you connect to people who are understanding it and you connect with like-minded people, you tend to mix with people that like you and get to understand you. And I actually said this to my Elvis friend last night. he didn't understand that when I got overheated after I've been dancing for 3 hours, why I was so hot. And when I went outside to talk to him, he was like, is this to do with your autism? Do you not process heat properly? And I was like, well, no, because I don't feel the heat until after I'm outside. And then also my body's going, you're burning. And also I'm standing going, vroom, I'm dripping. And I'm like, I don't feel that till it's too late. My body takes time to process it. And then people go, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so hot? And I'm flapping about going, I'm hot. And people are like, oh, you need an attention. Are you having a meltdown? I'm like, no, I'm not having a meltdown. I was hot, but I couldn't express it in the verbal way because my brain was trying to still process how I was feeling. So my instant thought was to go, hot. And people are like, you need help. No, I'm hot. I need to cool down. So once I was able to stand in the shelter and get fresh air on my face, I was all right. But people still took that as a sign for help. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Don't touch me. I just needed to cool down because it's too hot. So it's yeah, I understand that. The next question I've got for you. What are your favourite foods and foods that you avoid?
I avoid loads of stuff. I'm a bit funny with food.
You are very funny with food.
Well, I like what I like.
Back in a bit.
You're right.
Yeah.
I love takeaway. I love a Chinese food. I love an Indian takeaway. We like pizza.
I do love a good takeaway. I do try and we try and limit it. Obviously, the health stuff and the nutrition stuff.
But a good Sunday roast.
Yeah, I love a good Sunday roast.
But a chicken roast.
Oh, Sunday roast. Oh yeah, the best. Oh yes, I think a Sunday roast every day quite happily.
I can't eat fish because I had a worm in one once, so that's gone.
Yeah, you are quite funny. Aren't you? Is it Monster Munch you won't eat?
No, I'll eat.
No, sugar honey. Well then,
eat sugar puffs.
Can you still get sugar puffs?
Oh, sugar puffs! No, they're nasty. Oh no.
They made you sick once, didn't they? We were sick after eating them, so you can't eat them anymore.
Yeah, I eat sugar puffs.
When I used to sleep at my nan's house, she used to make the grandkids eat sugar puffs in the morning. She'd get us all up, march us down to the kitchen, and she'd have bowls of sugar puffs on the table. And she's like, yours, my sister's, my cousins. And she's like, 3, 2, 1, sit there. And she'd literally make us all eat it. And I used to gag. I used to absolutely hate it. I'm like, never again. No.
I won't feed our kids sugar puffs. I think I have a bit of a strange relationship with food because I'm trying to improve my health, and I think it's really important to understand that you can't cut out anything completely. There's always going to be a time when you're going to eat a donut. There's always going to be a time when you have a chocolate bar or a takeaway. But I am very conscious of what I eat, when I eat it, how I eat. I do try and eat fairly healthy. I try and avoid as much bread and pasta as I can. But the one thing that I have to be so careful of is sugar, because I am like a frigging wasp. I love sugar. I'll eat chocolate bars and cakes. Oh, honestly. So I do consciously try to avoid that where I can. And I think probably our biggest downfall is that we do eat probably too many takeaways sometimes, don't we? Maybe not your head. We don't eat too many. But in my head, we do.
I don't know. We've had one this week when we were away. We ordered takeout.
Yeah, I think sometimes in moderation it's okay to have takeaways and stuff. I think as long as you don't make a frequent habit of it. I think also it depends if you're always eating high sugar content or if you're just allowing yourself to eat it. Whereas I used to eat a lot of takeaways. Like now I probably treat myself to maybe 2 a week. And I enjoy cooking a lot more now. Whereas before I used to be like, oh, can't be bothered to cook my dinner, get a takeout. Whereas now I actually enjoy cooking. I'm like, actually this is fun because I'm cooking vegetables, I'm cooking meat, I'm doing things that I know are going to be tasty to me. Whereas before I'm like, oh, it's a chore, it's so boring. Whereas now I'm different because I think, well, hold on a minute, Gemma, stick on some music. By the time I've listened to a few music tracks, my dinner's done and I can eat it. So to me, it gives me a way of keeping focused on cooking dinner.
Takeout's expensive now, though, isn't it? It's not like
Oh god, yeah, mega expensive. I treated my nephew the other day to McDonald's. And I had him here for lunch, and it was like for his cheeseburger, a donut he wanted, a portion of chips and a drink. It cost me like £9 something. And I'm like, how the hell is that expensive? One McDonald's meal. I'm like, that's absurd. It's ridiculous.
You've got 4 of you. That's soon £40, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And then my next question I've got is, where do you see yourselves setting goals for the next 5 years?
So I guess, I mean, it's always about progressing in our work life. The biggest, it's hard to say barrier, but I suppose the biggest barrier for us is that we've still got a little one at primary school. So she still takes a bit of like arranging around work and stuff, doesn't she? She's not at the age where she can come home from school and let herself in yet.
Okay.
So I think once she goes to secondary school, which will be this time next year, it just opens up the possibilities a little bit more. And obviously we're planning on...
Well, in 5 years, she would have nearly left school.
Yeah. So we're planning on just carrying on developing ourselves in our current careers, but also pushing forward with the personal stuff we do with the one-to-one training and the coaching and the sort of the life coaching and stuff. But like I say, in 5 years, I want to be a big chunk into my retirement plan. I want to be
absolutely
getting towards that goal. I don't want to be driving Aston Martin.
Dear.
Yeah.
An Aston Martin.
Yeah. I want an Aston Martin.
Very nice. Absolutely. I think that's awesome. You know, we will, I think for me, in 5 years' time, I'd like to have more of the public awareness out there and acceptance about autism, and I would love to be able to go to the House of Commons. I've been there once already to do a tour, but I'd love to go there and actually talk to some MPs and get them on board about autism, because let's face it, the members of parliament, especially in my area, complete suck. And hopefully educate them to a little bit to go, hey, actually I am worth listening to because I'm the one that lives with it. Don't decide policies for me because you don't know. So that would be my goal for the next 5 years, would be to get educated. Wake up, you know, you need to be helping rather than being against me. So that's kind of what I want to do. I'm hoping.
It's always good to have a goal, Gemma, and that's achievable.
Absolutely. I used to be, the problem is with me, I used to be so goal driven all the time. I have these massive, big, I know probably now weren't achievable goals. I'll go, oh, well, I could get this celebrity on board. I could talk to this person in the media. And all I want to do is talk to like the big people. Whereas now I'm like, Gemma, no, because that's not practical. You have to start the small steps. You have to talk to people who are on the ground with you and on the same wavelength as you, and they understand you. And then you build up the connections to get to that place that you want. It's about making sure that you still remember the people that are with you now and take them with you to the big step. So to me, I'm like, no, Gemma, bring it back to bring it back to where you are, and then you can build that way up to get to where you need to. So I'm like, no, Gemma, calm it a little bit, because if all I'm doing is shooting towards the top big goal all the time, it's not going to work. So you have to, remember that what you're doing. So, the next question that I was going to ask you, but you kind of really answered it earlier. Would you encourage others to start a YouTube channel or go onto social media?
To start a YouTube channel, I think it depends. I wouldn't. Is discourage a word?
Yeah.
I wouldn't discourage it. And I think if someone had a good reason or a good niche or whatever to be out there, I think I would. But social media, I would advise people to avoid it, apart from our channels, mine and yours and Mel's channels. Every other form of social media, because it's toxic and it's an awful place to be. And I think if you can't handle the shit that comes with it, the nasty comments, the idiots, the morons, the Karens,
Yep.
everyone who wants to argue your point, and it's not just YouTube, it's not just trolls, it's everything. You know, I'll give a quick example if I can.
Yeah, of course, go for it.
I'm on Facebook and I follow some VW camper groups because we have a camper, and you'll get people on there going, "Oh, how much is my van worth? How much is my van worth?" And people absolutely rip them. If you want to know how much is your van worth, go and have a look. And they just get destroyed for asking how much their van's worth. But then if you post your van and put it at a price of 10 grand, everyone will be jumping all over it to tell you it's not worth that. There's never anything positive on there to come out of it. And I find most social media is like that.
No.
YouTube isn't as bad if you get in the right places. But TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if you haven't got thick skin, avoid it like the plague.
You get picked on.
Yeah, I've had some awful trolls, haven't I?
Absolutely. There is some questions for you that have came in the chat. Sorry, chat. I some of the chat. There was a question by Goldie. Here it is. Here. What's it called?
This was Sharon. Yeah, this was Sharon's original question.
For Mel, she says, Mel, it must have been difficult working. Okay. Sorry. Good. Yeah.
Do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, let me read it.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, Mel, it must have been difficult working in the NHS space during lockdown. What's your personal work-related role like during that time? So I was quite new to my role. It was a new job. I'd only been in post for about 6 months when lockdown hit, and I was a newly appointed ward manager in a standalone NHS hospital ward. So it was quite challenging because we didn't know what the rules were because they kept changing them every 24 hours. So, you know, like they had all the press conferences every evening, and then by next morning, everything changed. And, you know, trying to encourage our patients to stick to the rules and only exercise once a day. It's a rehab facility, so lots of our experiences and things that we do happen in the community.
Rick.
But there wasn't a community to access, so we had to be quite inventive and innovative in terms of how to help people achieve their goals. Yeah, within a hospital setting, that should be within a community.
Good evening, Rick.
So yeah, it was tricky. And not just for the patients, but for the staff as well.
I think there's been a few
shielding or staff that were going off because there wasn't testing in the early days. So if you got a tickle or a cough, that was it. They were off for 14 days, or somebody in the household got a tickle or a cough. They were off for 14 days. So trying to ensure you got 24-hour cover for staffing. Yeah, it was tough.
It was a tough time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for quite a long time, but. My team did pull together and they got to know each other in a different way than what they would have done beforehand, I think. And there were some strong friendships forged because people couldn't socialise anywhere else, so they socialised at work. But yeah, there was some fallings out as well, but that's the nature of people. But yeah, no, it was tough. But yeah, I don't regret it. I don't regret working there or doing that. Definitely a learning curve. I don't think it'll ever happen again.
No.
For sure.
No. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Second pandemic in your lifetime. That'd be a bit rubbish.
I haven't seen any other questions, Gemma, but I don't know if you've seen Brian Lloyd, £2 donation.
No, I didn't. Oh wow! I mean, just the chat's really delayed on my end, so I'm just seeing it come up now on my screen. Thank you, Brian, for the super chat, the $2. Much love. Thank you very much. I hope you're well. It's good to see you. Hello, Clint Brook. Good to see you, Rick Paul. How are you, Rick? I hope you're well. I did attend your live stream the other day, and it was a really, really awesome live stream that you had. It was really, really funny and cool.
Rick Paul's my guy. I've known Rick a long time, man. He's a great guy. I think Gemma keeps freezing.
And you kept the stream, I think it's like, it ran for like an hour and a half, I think, in total. He did really well.
Yeah, he's a top guy. I think you keep. Is it us that's freezing? Is Gemma freezing for anyone else, or is it just for us?
Yeah,
or are we?
Sorry, my. I think it's my internet signal just cut out for a second, but I should be back now. StreamYard keeps cutting me out for some reason. I don't know why.
Let's just keep going regardless, Gemma.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, Linda. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to give up. Hell no. I'm not a quitter.
So did anyone have any more questions for us?
I don't know. If someone could get rid of that, there's a troll in my chat who's trying to troll someone in my chat. If someone could get rid of that comment, please, I would appreciate it. I'm not going to have one of my friends. Yeah, I think it's my internet signal. It keeps cutting out. The StreamYard doesn't seem to like me. It comes and goes. But yeah, I should be back, hopefully. For some reason my internet keeps cutting out, but I'm still going to carry on regardless. So
we used to have the same problem with StreamYard. Whenever we hosted anyone on StreamYard, it was horrendous.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it does it with me. I've got nothing else open. I've literally shut everything else that I had open. It's literally, I just had the StreamYard window open. That's it. I literally have closed everything on the computer. So, really? Guys, can you hear me? Paul Mel, can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. It just keeps freezing a little bit, Gemma, but it's all right. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, no worries. But yeah, guys, if you've got any questions, let Paul Mel know in the chat so I can acknowledge them and read them. So because I said I was going to open up the floor to the chat, so I guess because I've asked all my questions that I had on my trusty notepad. So it's your guys, you can ask some questions. Okay, Miss Sunshine and Brian said they can hear me. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know.
I think someone did ask a question about the hand signal that I do, but I didn't see who it was. Do I know what it means?
Yeah, Sharon said.
Oh, was it?
Sharon was asking.
Someone's asked this question before. So this hand signal is it's an old surfer thing. I don't know if it's got another meaning, but we always used to, when I was in the army and was into skating and surfing, it was kind of the hand signal. And it's also now used in the van community as like it's kind of a universal camper van like wave. But what it actually means is, for anyone watching, you won't find this on Google, you won't find it on Wikipedia. It's coming exclusively now that this actually means achieve your goals. That's what that means.
Not like marathons that go away.
Rick has a question for you. He says, how close are both of you now to the partnership program?
120 hours, 120 watch hours, I think we need before we can apply.
Yeah.
So
we'll get you
there.
That shouldn't take you that long.
We haven't dropped much content recently. We've been busy this week, just a few little videos while we was away, but we haven't done a great deal of stuff. And we haven't done the two. We normally do a live fitness on a Monday, which we didn't do last Monday, and we're probably not going to do tomorrow. So we're a little bit shorter this week than what we have been. But there is more great stuff coming. We have got some stuff planned, haven't we? Just trying to keep going in the right direction. And we never started this to be part of the partnership program. I know, yeah, I've got a tickle in my throat. But when we started getting close, we'll
we're not going to refuse it.
We'd not turn it down if we get it, but it's not.
we're a family. We push people together. You know, this is what we do. We help people who are in our family achieve their goals on YouTube and off YouTube. You know, we're, like I said to you guys before, you know, family supports each other offline as well as online. This is what I do with YouTube. I'm very flexible. I talk to a lot of people offline as well. So it's not just about having that online contact with people. I want to keep that going offline. So like obviously with the Discord and my Facebook, things like that, I talk to people because I want to carry on the conversation offline. The support shouldn't just end on the computer. It should be an offline thing as well. It should be something that we all should be doing a lot more of. I think people were too scared to do it a lot of the time. So I think it needs to be something we need to invest in a little bit more with each other. So
obviously, if anyone's got a free hour and they want to go stick one of our podcasts on, that would be greatly appreciated. The more hours we can get, the better. And I've got a great playlist if you want to stick it on through the night. So we'll get them hours in.
Yeah, if all my mods go, you could drop the Fitness Hutch channel link in the chat, please, guys. That would really help me out. We can share that out in the chat and also onto my community tab. I'll put the Fitness Hutch channel onto my community post as well, so people can go and link over there and subscribe. Guys, what I'm going to ask you to do, go over there, leave a nice, genuine, organic comment. Don't be nasty or do the nasty just click the like and go away. No, leave a comment, subscribe properly, ring the notification bell, share out a video, watch a video for more than 3 minutes so that YouTube knows that you're a genuine subscriber, and then you get notifications, because otherwise it's pointless. So make sure you do it the proper way. Subscribe, ring the bell, share the video out, share their live streams out, so then YouTube knows that you're interested. Otherwise you won't get any notifications. So make sure that you do that.
Oh, I'm just reading back from Sharon here. She says that hand signal has been inverted to the other side, giving it a negative meaning. The reason I ask is to have an authentic meaning. Ah, so what, like that? Is that a negative meaning? Is that what you mean, or that way?
I think it's also because it's been done on television. Like, I know I recognise that hand signal from mobile phone sales thing, and it was a way to beg people to buy new phone contracts. They used to be like, come and get your new phone. It'd be like a symbol to bribe people to get a new phone, and a lot of people got irritated with it because it's a way to try and force phones to people's pockets. So it is, but I don't see it's a negative thing to begin anyway. I think it's a personal choice and context. Everything has context to how people perceive things. So
yeah, I was playing with a couple of different ideas for hand signals. I didn't know I was using my little finger or my middle finger, and I thought the middle finger one looked a little bit worse.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I think also hand signals can be quite good though, because if you're explaining something or you're pointing to something and you express it with your hand, then it's often very good. Like sometimes with me, I do speak with my hands, like so, especially on my videos. Like if I'm talking about something I'm passionate about and I'm linking an article or I have up my screen, I'm like, look at this, and like I will point at things and people are like, why do you do that? It's because I find it easy to express that way by using my hands. It shows that I'm passionate about it. So I talk my hands all the time.
Good to see some tricky crew in the house representing. Nice to see you, Mark. Thank you for joining.
Oi, Mark. Oi, Jacqueline. How you doing? Good to see you all. I hope you're well. I know Tricky was on earlier. I don't know if he still is on. Oopsie. I did kind of self-promote his stream earlier. Oops. Huh?
Did you? He's cool though, man. He won't care. He's a top guy.
Yeah, I did drop the stream here. I was like, Tricky, I am on at 8:00, you know. And he was like, okay, Gemma. I was like, oops, should I have self-promoted? But I did tell him like twice in the chat. So, hey, Linda, how you doing? And Jacqueline, thanks for the comments I'm going to interview. And trust me, Jacqueline, I've had to prep my questions. So I've been sitting here for like the last couple of days writing down the questions, then rewriting them out and adding like the last couple of questions earlier. I'm like, have I got everything? And then doing the thumbnail again, making sure that the thumbnail was nice and clear. And I was like, So I appreciate the compliment, but my interviewing skills are not the greatest, but I appreciate it. Hey, Pizza Demon, good to see you.
I think you're really good, Gemma. To be fair, I think you're good at interviewing.
Better than me.
Better than some of the other
I
interviews.
guess I'm getting better because a lot of people don't know that I do a lot of NHS interviewing. I sit on a lot of interview panels, interviewing staff for jobs, and I sit a lot on NHS forums with staff members. And I think because I do them on a weekly basis, I'm kind of getting myself better attached to communicating with people. And some of the people that I communicate with, I think I've told you guys on the Discord, is some of their attitudes, I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I communicating with these people who are ignorant and judgmental morons and don't seem to give a who I am or anything? It's like they make the most stupid assumptions. I had someone the other day, Mel, maybe you can help me out here. Why is it that NHS doctors seem to always say to people like myself, oh, you can't be autistic because you function too well? I hear that so many times from NHS people. I'm like, it boggles my head. I'm like, how?
It's quite an old-fashioned view, isn't it? And I think autism and awareness around autism's come a long way, and maybe some of those doctors are still back in the dark ages and haven't kept up with their training.
Yeah, so I sat on this forum the other day. I'm like, and the doctor says to me, "Oh, you're too functioning to be autistic." I'm like, "Do you know how insulting you sound?" Because I'm a female. Obviously I am autistic. Like, to me, that's really insulting. It's like it undermines my struggles a little bit, and I'm like, just because I mask it in front of you and I'm able to go, woohoo, Gemma's all happy all the time, you don't see the shutdown side of me where I'm depressive, anxious, manic, because I hide that side of myself. That gets buried. I don't show that. So they only see one side of what autism is. They don't see the meltdowns I have when I've lost my temper at people, or where I've hit my door, or I've smacked my head against the wall, or people only see the one side of autism that they don't understand. It's frustrating. Hey, Drew. Good to see you. Sharon says the symbol was inverted to represent Tath, which was meant to be an evil god, but is not. Some celebrity signals have inverted it to be bad, but they are not. The media propaganda to promote mental health. Huh? That's completely confused me. Huh?
Yeah, I think it's just she's given us a brief overview of the negative meaning of my achieve your goals symbol.
Okay, that's completely confusing. I'm like, huh? Okay. Sharon, you completely boggled me. I'm like, yeah, okay. I have no idea what you're on about, but okay. I get, you should have told him he was too ignorant. Pamela, this is the thing. I can't, because I don't really have that authority to tell them that. But at the same point, I know it's based out of fear and judgment. But the same point is, I'm only one autistic person that they've dealt with. But at the same time, they should have that respect to greet me properly. Because the first thing he said to me when he met me on that phone call was, oh, you function too well to be autistic. That's the first thing he said to me. I'm like, you didn't even introduce himself, didn't say nice to meet you or ask me my name or anything. It was actually boom. That was the first thing he said to me. I'm like, hello to you too. So it's kind of like, whoa, okay. Thank you, Drew, for sharing that out. I appreciate that. Sharon has a question from Mel. She says, it must be difficult in the days of social media to help with more serious mental health issues.
I suppose my paid work, what I do for my job, that's fairly standard, really, because obviously we've got our policies and our procedures and my training, and we get to know the people that I'm working with fairly intimately, really, in terms of their problems. I guess on social media, it's more of an overview, isn't it, rather than offering specific advice for specific challenges or difficulties that people might be experiencing. But yeah,
I think my job's harder in the days of social media, working with young people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's a lot more complex now. Whereas a lot of the time, I mean, even going back 10 years, it wasn't as bad as it is now. And I think probably 80% of crisis we deal with young people comes from something that's happened on social media, comes from something that's happened on Snapchat, or someone said something on Instagram, or someone's blocked someone on something. I think it's definitely changed the whole way that we work within the young people sector. Definitely.
A lot of my patients, they don't access social media.
No.
Thank you, Mark, for joining the Fitness Hutch channel. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Good man.
Peter Steve, absolutely. Social media, this is the thing that, like Paul said earlier, it's a minefield, because social media, you have to kind of be thick-skinned, and you have to prepare yourself for being on it. Like for me, when I first started, was I prepared? Hell no. Did I know what I was doing? No. I was very immature, very naive. Did I communicate with some bad people? Yes. Did I make an idiot of myself? Yes, I did. But social media, again, has strengthened me, because I've got in contact with the right people down the line, and they've kind of helped me weed out the bad people and got myself back on track again. So social media can be a blessing for people like myself, because I've gone from having people who were, I guess, taking advantage of me, to then the good people like the BBC people who I communicate with, the mental health professionals who I communicate with, to get myself back in that track again, and positive mindset. So I was like, get rid of the bad people who I had, and now I'm back in with the good people. So it's, social media can be a double-edged sword for sure. For sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it depends at what angle you're coming at it from, because our friends, Alan and Kaz, who have got a travel channel, they just have a travel channel. They go out and do the traveling stuff. They don't really do lives. They don't get involved in community stuff. They just do their videos, drop a video once a week. They're growing nice and steady. They don't get involved in any of the stuff. And I think as soon as you start getting yourself involved in loads of stuff, that's where a lot of the trolls sit. They sit at the bottom of everything, waiting, and they'll drop in, and they'll scour the live tab looking for who's live, just so they can drop in and give someone some grief. It gives a whole platform to people who want to be nasty, vicious, vile people. But like you said, a double-edged sword. It also gives a platform to us who probably wouldn't be able to do as much good as we do without the platform to show it on.
Yeah,
we just need to echo it out further, so more people can be involved and can help even more.
Rick actually has a point backing you guys up. He says, social media is a manufactured, unreal environment. People are rarely true on it, so it becomes very competitive. Yes and no, Rick. Like, I think I've been the most truest version of myself online, because I've been able to get my voice out. Like, I use my social media, my YouTube, as my therapy. It's kind of where I'm more expressive, and where I'm my true self. I'm able to be the unfiltered Gemma. Whereas sometimes in my real life, where I am now, I have to have my defenses up, because a lot of people don't understand the real Gemma. They want the everyday Gemma is fine situation. They don't want the Gemma who's upset or triggered or depressed. They want the Gemma that's smiling and laughing and joking and making an idiot out of herself, because they want me to fit in with society. Whereas on YouTube, I can be the Gemma who's upset or anxious, and I can be the Gemma that loses her shit, because that's the real side of autism people don't get to see about me sometimes. So for me, being online is my real self, because I get to show you the worst and the best of my autism at the same time. So I think being online for me is my true self.
I think looking at the comment from Rick, I think maybe he's talking more about things like Instagram, where everybody's always vying to be better than the next person. Because I could go on Instagram right now, I could go in my gym and I could take 2 photos, one where I look like I've got a huge, great big belly and I'm massively overweight, and one where I look like I've got a 6-pack, and I could do that in 30 seconds. So I can make it so unreal. So as soon as these people go on there, they see someone being unreal, then they want to be even more unreal. Like, I can post a picture of me stood next to a Ferrari to make it look like I've got a Ferrari. So then everybody else then becomes more competitive. I want to be better. And that's where everything then becomes so unreal. Everything's so unreal all the time.
And then young people...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Try and replicate that, don't they? That image of what's not real. And they start filling their face full of fillers. And
Yeah. Because they're trying to keep up.
Yeah, shocking.
It
Yeah,
is.
this
But
is the
listen,
thing that I'm just myself. Like people say, oh, it's about trying to be competitive and being bigger and better and braver than the next person. No, it's not. My channel's not about that. My channel is about being myself and showing people, because you might have limitations or conditions, it doesn't mean that your life has to stop. There is more than the label that's put on me. Like, yes, I'm autistic. Yes, I have anxiety disorder, but I rise above that. I push myself out of that comfort zone to go, hey, I may have these mental health issues that stop me on a day-to-day basis, but I'm going to go out and push my goals and get things done. Because if I don't, then my disabilities control me. So I try and push above that for the most part. So
yeah. But right, Gemma, we are going to have to shoot off because we are back at work in the morning.
Absolutely. No worries. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's been an amazing, it's been such a pleasure. And I can't believe it's been an hour and 15 minutes. It's flown.
I know. It's just flown naturally as it's gone.
This is one of my favourite interviews I think we've had. Some really good questions and a great bunch of people in the chat.
Yeah,
those of you that already know us, and sorry I haven't acknowledged everyone in the chat that knows us, but also all of you that are supporting Gemma, please keep supporting her because she's an amazing lady, such a good friend and so genuine. So thank you to everyone that supports her, and obviously feel free to pop over and catch up with us if you want to. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely, guys. I have put the Fitness Hutch channel in the chat, guys. If all my mods could drop the channel again in the chat and go over there and subscribe. And I guess you'll be live Sunday. Is your next live stream, is it? I think. Are you live before then?
We don't know what we're going to do yet this week because the kids are away this week. They're at my dad's for the week because we're back at work. So
okay.
We're going to have to plan what we've got going on. But we'll definitely be some pre-recorded videos dropping this week without a doubt. But there will be no live stream tomorrow night.
Okay, no worries, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. If you will go over there and subscribe to the Fitness Hutch, they're amazing, genuine people. I'm hoping to meet up with them very, very soon with Trevor. We are trying to organise a meetup. I have tried to get hold of Trevor to organise that as well because I'm desperately want to meet up with Paul and Mel. And there will be vlogs, of course, some selfies and all that fun stuff. And me organise a date. So it should be upcoming, hopefully very soon, I'm hoping.
Thank you. Thank you. I see Drew's just said, anyone that's subscribed, thank you, Drew, and everyone else that's subscribed. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. We'll see you in the comments. And Gemma, finally to you, thank you very much for having us on.
Gemma.
It's been a pleasure. We will catch up very soon.
No worries. Okay. Much love, guys.
Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Achieve your goals. Bye. So yeah, that was the interview with the Fitness Hutch guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I did for them and having the questions. And I hope you enjoyed asking some questions. I'm sorry I didn't really acknowledge the chat that much, but I really appreciate you guys for coming in. And yeah, guys, I'm going to end it here. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I am exhausted. And I'll see you all during the week, guys. Much love.